Hi, Eliannah. How are you today?
Hey, Bob. Doing good.
It's good to see you. I feel like it's been too long.
Way too long.
Check this out today. We're doing a grilled pork tenderloin pizzaiola style. So this is a pork tenderloin, which is a little bit leaner cut of pork versus a pork chop. Really nice, really tender. We're going to grill it today, but first what I did was I marinated overnight in olive oil, fresh thyme, garlic, a little bit of red pepper flake, salt and pepper. A real nice tip is to bring your protein up to room temp, which means about an hour before you're ready to cook. That's in the oven, stovetop, or even on the grill.
Is that our chef tip for the day?
I think so. I mean, maybe we'll get a couple more along the way. Who knows?
That's a good one.
So let's take this outside and we'll get this going on the grill. But figure anywhere from 450 to 500 degrees. This is the pork tenderloin, obviously. I'm going to put it right along the middle burner there, and we're going to close the lid. All right, so here's our pork tenderloin. This has been about 5 minutes on this grill, and you could see how easy that was to turn, Eliannah?
Yeah.
That means that it's cooked properly on that one side. And then if you look in here, you can see the browning and some of the grill marks. So that is a beautiful thing to see.
That looks awesome.
All right, Eliannah, here we are. I'm thinking this pork tenderloin is finished.
Looks good.
That's been about 15 minutes on that grill. Please, never forget to turn off your grill. You don't want to run out of gas.
I'd say that's an important chef's tip.
And I'm going to cover this pork tenderloin because it's obviously hot from the grill right now. And what we want to do is contain that heat around the pork tenderloin. And it's actually going to continue cooking just a little bit. It's going to keep your tenderloin warm. It's going to let the protein or the meat rest, which is good for the meat. And it's going to make it a edible temperature, and it's also going to make it much easier to slice, once we're ready with our sauce. So let's go start over here with our Siciliano sauce, which is really quite simple. It's the beauty of Italian cooking, simple ingredients. Today we're going to be using our marinara sauce bars. We're going to use 1 bar for our sauce. And today's a little different because we're actually using our sauce bar to reduce down a sauce that's going to be used on a protein rather than tossing with pasta or tossing with vegetables. I'm going to start the heat on the stove here at about medium. And I'm going to get some olive oil, and we're going to do about a tablespoon of olive oil. Whoa, good catch there, bud.
Reflexes are on point.
Yeah, that tennis game back. That's about a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to let that warm up a little bit. There's your onion. So again, this is your medium heat. Most of the pizzaiola sauces call for yellow onion. This is a Vidalia onion. So it's actually a sweet onion, which I just love. There's a little bit of difference. If you can't find the Vidalia, it's fine. I think a red onion is fine. But the onion really gives it a nice base of flavor. So I'm starting to sweat the onion there. There's a term that's used in cookbooks a lot. It's called translucent. Translucent is the state in which the vegetable that you're cooking down starts to become visibly cooked or absorbing some of the oil, and it gets a nice little texture. So it's slowly but surely reaching that translucent stage. You want to stay in the translucent stage because you don't want it to brown. Brown is nice for certain things, but not for this recipe. So I'm going to add a little white wine. It's probably about 2 tablespoons there. And I wanted to put another little layer into our onions before we start adding our seasoning and sauce bar. Pizzaiola is known for having a little spice. This is, I'm measuring in my hand here, about a half a tablespoon of oregano. You know what? I think I like a little more. There's your oregano, which you can get at any grocery store. Everybody should have oregano in their cabinet. And then pizzaiola gets its spice or its kick from these red pepper flakes. Real simple. Everybody has a different tolerance for heat. I'm not a real big spice guy, but I do like a little bit undertone of the spice. So I'm going for about a half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. And I'm adding them to the onion, obviously. So we're going to kick this around. I'm going to let that wine reduce down to almost nothing in the pan. And you can smell it. Can you smell that?
It smells so good.
So good, right? I think we've cooked enough here. That's probably 3 or 4 minutes that we've cooked at this heat. We've added our seasoning that rounds out, which is, you know, the basic seasoning for pizzaiola. And that's the oregano and the red pepper flake with the onion, right?
Onions look translucent.
We're going to add our bar. And there's the tomato. Right there in a bar form. She looks pretty, doesn't she? It's so nice to have these bars in the freezer. And just know that you have this quality sitting in your freezer waiting to be used just to totally kick up your meal. Pizzaiola is one of my favorite sauces. You know, I learned about pizzaiola when I joined the team at From the Boot. And, you know, it was done with veal on our menu. But, I mean, you can do it with chicken, pork. I've seen recipes where there's a steak pizzaiola. So things are reducing down there, and here is our pork tenderloin that's been resting for about 10 minutes. A little bit of juices accumulated around the plate. What's really nice about that is, add right to your sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that you can see the tomato chunks in there.
So here, I like to slice this pork tenderloin, and I like to slice it thinly. So I'm going to just start at one end. And you're going to see how we're going to present this. This is still nice and hot. And you can see inside there, see how everything's cooked all the way through? You see the little pink in there, little light color. You'll probably see it as you get closer to the center. But that says to you that it's cooked perfectly. And you can see how the pork tenderloin, after resting for 10 minutes, is still hot or really warm. Perfect temperature. But let's layer this on our serving platter here. And there's a little bit of juice on this board from slicing that I just want to add back into. That's all good stuff. Here's our pizzaiola.
Oh yeah.
There you have it. Pork tenderloin pizzaiola.